mental slavery does so many things to us. And one thing that is easy to observe is how it makes us uncomfortable within black skin. Because black skin under oppression and under white supremacy becomes the symbol of marginalization, pain, exclusion, a wounded experience of life. As much as you can write it into sexy R&B videos, as much as you can write it into Tyra Banks looking videos and models and things like that, it never becomes a dominant experience of beauty, of power, of something nice. So because many of our women especially have been objectified by their looks, have become women who are over-sexualized, are not expected to produce much intellectual thought, are not expected to be intelligent, are not expected to be anything else than a commodity. And this goes back to the time of enslavement when that was instituted, and African became synonymous with slave because that's a part of our history as well. So when young women, or any age of women, when women then look at themselves and package themselves as commodities, meaning they want to show off a body that is desirable. And the objective becomes, I need attention, I need somebody to look at me, I need somebody to want me, because I don't want me, I don't like what I look like, but I can maybe negotiate a way to present myself to become an object of desire. And when I am that, I will feel good. That's the experience of many African women, not because they are shallow, not because they have decided that they're just going to look at their bodies that way, because it has already been given to them. They are raised in families where they got this information. A 4-year-old can look at this world and might not understand anything about white supremacy, but understands very clear that I'm black, I belong to a people that is not powerful. If I had a choice, I didn't want to be black. That's something we know from very, very early age. So it's important to say this in a manner, because sometimes when this discussion comes up, people who see this from outside, meaning people who are not black, will say, oh yeah, they have issues with self-confidence, it's not so nice to be black, we need to help. And it's almost like a pity. It has nothing to do with that. This is not about not being able to produce a strong sense of self. This is not about wanting just out of personal choice to be somebody else. It is a direct reflection of what we have been forced to become. A people who carry ugliness, carry undesirability, carry something that is sick, that is grotesque, that is associated with barbarism and heathenism and things that you don't want. So there's a certain type of sense in African women who want to change their hair color, who want to bleach their skin. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's something that we must do, but there's a certain type of sense in it because it responds to something that is true in this world. And that is that dark skin does not symbolize niceness, symbolize that you are really a person, symbolize something that is great. It always symbolizes the opposite. So when it does that, and you might not be aware of the history behind it, you will find yourself having aspirations towards being not you. So you dream about long blonde hair, you dream about blue eyes, and in your mind, you get to know that if you had those physicalities, your life would have been different. You could have been the same person, you could have grown up exactly in the same way, but just having a different physicality would have changed your life. To walk with that knowledge every single day, that's oppressive. We need to be very careful about how we deal with this subject. And now I want us to take responsibility. Yes, we must never forget that this was coded into us. We were oppressed into these confusions of mindsets, but now we need to own the solution. And that means we need to realize that we are reproducing this knowledge. We are creating music videos where we package women as assets, as objects that should be desired and invaded and raped. We dance around with rape culture We put some nice beat to it, we put some nice colors and a pool and some wine, and then it's okay. But what we're really doing is to saying that African women are rapeable. That's exactly what we were taught by white supremacy. Black women are rapeable. African women are sex objects, and that's the highest status they can get. They cannot get any further. And we have agreed that that's true in our entertainment, in the videos we watch, the music that we use. And I think now with pornographic images being very, very accessible and being something that you can download on your phone, not something that you have to even sneak into strange shops to get. It's something that you can access right now. It deepens the problem. So we now, even within spaces where people talk about Black consciousness, they talk about African-centered values, but when they go home, they consume very questionable portraits of African bodies, of African being. It comes from outside, but we have internalized it in such a way that many of us think that this is all we can be. This is all we should aspire to be. As men, we go to gyms and we want to bulk up. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with fitness, but some of us do it for the reason of becoming somebody. Because maybe if my African male body can look a bit stronger, can look a bit more aggressive, can look a little bit more dangerous, then I can be somebody. So we struggle with our images. We struggle with our noses, our lips, our complexions, our hair textures. And many of us, if we can change it, we would opt for that. And that means we are dangerous to us.